So it's been well over a month since the reveal of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, and we really haven't gotten that much new information since then. Sure, at E3 we got a look at our rival and more gameplay footage, but that's really about it. And honestly, it's been kind of sad not seeing any new information, but just in the past few days, we were blessed with 3 new trailers and a lot more information on the website. So, like last time, I thought I'd do another video breaking down all of the trailers and giving my thoughts on everything that can be found in them, and even some things you might have missed. That means I'm going to be breaking down the trailer, talking about Easter eggs, and just showing you things that you might have missed.
If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend. And with that being said, let's get started.
So first, like I said, there were 3 trailers that came out in these past few days, and I think it's best to start with the English trailers. Right at the beginning, we have the protagonist being greeted by their starter Pokemon. The only really notable thing here is that it further shows how interactive the partner Pokemon will be, as you hear them make noises other than just their names, which is really nice, honestly. Next, we get a really nice shot of Pallet Town, which is followed by shots of the protagonist riding Charizard, who is really freaking fast, as well as Lapras on Route 20, which just looks plain beautiful on the water. Moving on, we have a shot of Magikarp following the trainer in Cerulean City, which has a pretty nice makeover. Again, with better scaling as well as updated looks, with the C-scaled rooftops and awnings. I know I've said this multiple times, but these games are seriously beautiful. Everything just looks so vibrant and nice. Following this, we have another look at our quote-unquote friendly rival, which many people in the community are upset about, and honestly, I understand. Yes, the purpose of these games is supposed to ease Go players into the main series, so the difficulty has been scaled down to accommodate them, and I get it. But you can still do all of that and have a rival that at least taunts us or purposefully antagonizes us. Oh well, there's always next year. Next up, we get this scene with the protagonist, the rival, and the helpful Pokemon expert, Professor Oak. In this scene, we are choosing our starter Pokemon, which is shown with an awesome cinematic. One really nice detail in this scene is that the main character is actually giving us a sign of emotion, which is definitely a serious improvement from Sun and Moon. After the trailer shows us receiving our partner Pokemon, we move into actually bonding with them in our Let's Go variant of Pokemon Refresh. Now at first it shows us Pikachu and Eevee seemingly giving us mean glares and a little bit of attitude, but later warming up to us. This is immediately followed by the confirmation that these starters are not only gender locked, but that Eevee actually has a gender difference now. Compared to the more spiky and ruffled up pattern on the male's tail, we have a neat heart pattern on the female's tail. Next comes an answer that we've been all wanting to hear since the reveal, and yes, we can customize our characters, at least their clothing. But really, I don't see why they wouldn't include the options of previous generations in changing skin tone and hairstyles. Especially since the next clip shows that we're able to change our partner Pokemon's hair, which is super awesome, especially Coconut Head over here. We then move on to clips of the main Pokemon character running through various routes with the beloved following Pokemon feature in use. Here we can see the trainer on Route 3 with a Bulbasaur, Route 18 with a Squirtle, which is pretty bizarre considering in previous games you needed to be on a bike to travel on any routes connected to the cycling road. Anyways, we also see shots of the player riding Onix on Route 10 and on Arcanine on Route 4, which could easily be one of my favorite rides, next to Charizard of course. This nicely transitions into our next feature of your following Pokemon being able to find hidden items for you. At E3, we saw that our partner Pokemon acts up when there are hidden items, but because our following Pokemon are on the ground, they actually can pick them up, which is really neat. Now we're heading into some of the more controversial stuff, being the gyms. While yes, they do look very cool, some gyms will have certain requirements that many people would consider hand-holding, but honestly, it's not that big of a deal. Because again, these games aren't exactly aimed at hardcore fans. Regardless, the gym battles look fantastic, with a much larger battlefield and accurate Pokemon scaling. And we get a look at the next gym leader, being none other than Misty, with a design more reminiscent of her Pokemon Yellow design. And again, the gym looks so amazing. Next, we're given another look at co-op play, first in Viridian City, which has a new edition of... wait for it. A bench. Ah, but who is sitting on the bench? Being the person is older, could it possibly be the old man that teaches us how to catch Pokemon? I think it's pretty likely. The scene then wraps up with a double battle against Sandshrew. That nicely segues into our first look at online battles, which appear to be more of a spectacle compared to previous generations, as the stadium is large and filled with people watching over the battle. Also, Pikachu gives us a nice thunder attack, which is nicely animated as most moves have been so far. The English trailer then closes with another look at trading, which can only be done online or locally. Now we can finally move into the first Japanese trailer, which does show a lot of similarities with the English, but does have its own exclusive tidbits. The first of which is awesome new artwork of the Kanto region, which we will actually touch on a little bit later. Next is a scene in the main character's bedroom where he's standing in front of his TV and Switch. And when taking a look at the table, you can actually see that the right Joy-Con is missing. This is probably indicative of the fact that the game can be played exclusively with a single Joy-Con, and that you, the player, are probably doing so. We then have yet another look at some of the towns, but here in Cerulean, we see that the bike shop is making an appearance. There was some speculation on whether the bike would return or not, as we can ride on any Pokemon large enough to fit us. But being that not every playthrough will have a large Pokemon in your party, in addition to the returning of the shop, I think that speculation can probably be put to rest. Another small tidbit to mention is that the fountain that is normally above the bike shop is now beside it. Odd choice, but as long as it looks nice, it doesn't really matter where they put it. We then see a few more shots, including the inside of Pewter City Museum and Nugget Bridge. Moving on, we get extended looks with our rival and Professor Oak, but there isn't really anything of too much importance. We also see Brock's gym yet again, but nothing really new. However, we do get a new look at Misty's gym, and it now has the other trainers in the gym on diving boards instead of floating in the water, which looks a bit more dangerous considering how close she's landing to the platform you're standing on. And during the battle with Misty, you can see her striking her Pokemon Yellow pose, confirming that outfit inspiration. We then get more scenes of the main character with either Pikachu or Eevee, just messing around in the environment, showing off the different outfits and haircuts, and finishing up with some nice treatment in Pokemon Refresh. And wrapping up the second trailer, it ends with more scenes of following Pokemon, Pokemon Ride, and Pokemon finding hidden items. Now moving into the final trailer, we have a mix of live action, CG, and actual gameplay footage. The first notable thing we see is the little kid starting up Let's Go Pikachu, giving us a first look at the title and continuation screen. This is then followed by even more shots of our partner Pokemon, as well as traveling through different routes and encountering and catching wild Pokemon. We don't really see anything new until this battle with Mr. Mime. After the kid throws a Pokeball and misses, we see that Mr. Mime actually runs away, which does create a bit of annoyance since we no longer get to weaken Pokemon to make our Pokeballs more effective. Next, we see some sort of race with over 20 Pikachu, which is pretty cool as it shows the extra power of the Switch allows there to be many Pokemon on the screen at once with no frame rate issues. We then cut into an intense battle between the player and Zapdos at the power plant. This leads into a montage of sorts that has many things we've already seen twice now, so I'm only going to be pointing out the new things that show up. Firstly, we got an even more intense looking battle against Moltres, the Go Park being absolutely filled with Pokemon, showing the amount you can transfer into the park is pretty high. One of the most amazing things about these games being the return of the Team Rocket trio, of course, Jessie, James, and Meowth. And finally, it wraps up with an area that appears to be the outside of the Indigo Plateau. Now for the final bit of this video, we're going to be going over some things not shown in the videos, but instead put on Pokemon's websites. First, we have the confirmation of the version exclusive Pokemon that we're used to with the Kanto games. One interesting piece of information we get regarding Pokeballs is that not only can we buy them from marts, but apparently some trainers throughout the region will give you some after you beat them, which is honestly pretty handy. Next, we have some more information on Pokmon Gyms. Some require you to have a specific Pokemon type before you can challenge it, like Brock's, but some also make you have a minimum level requirement. This leads into the section about Cerulean, which mentions to be on the lookout for a mischievous Squirtle, which we can actually see a picture of the alleged Squirtle being confronted by Officer Jenny. I love that they're bringing so many anime characters into the game just like Pokemon Yellow did. And really the last piece of info we have is full confirmation that in order to battle and trade in these games, the Nintendo Online service will be required, which I get is a bummer for some people, but luckily it's only $20 a year. So honestly, that shouldn't be so bad for most people. The only thing we have left now are the official artworks of characters shown in the trailers today, some in unique positions. And finally, the full-blown map of Kanto updated for these games. Now this map is pretty high in detail, as you can make out most, if not all of the individual buildings in each town and city. But the most eye-catching thing has to be the Pokemon put all over the map. At first glance, you might not think much of it, but almost all of these Pokemon are lined up in the areas that you can catch them. That's right, this is basically your one-stop guide for being able to find any Pokemon you might be missing from your Pokedex, or simply just want to catch. Interestingly enough, the original 3 Kanto starters are placed in the areas that you can obtain them in Pokemon Yellow. Being that we can also see the main character with the starters throughout all of the trailers, to me that would indicate that at some point in the game we will be able to get all of them. Most likely again from the NPCs that gave them to us in Pokemon Yellow. But there's more. Now we can see the legendary birds and Mewtwo in all of the corners surrounded by clouds and effects representative of the typings they have. Mewtwo, however, has a very dark swirl at the bottom of him, which almost reminds me of portals that we've seen before in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. It might just be a coincidence, but I thought it was worth noting. And way at the top of the map, we can also see a small Mew hanging out in the clouds, which definitely piques my curiosity. As of right now, the only way to get Mew in Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee is by getting it along with the Pokeball Plus. However, I can't imagine Game Freak making this the only way to ever get Mew in the games. So it does make me wonder if Mew will simply be able to get caught at some point in the game, or perhaps later on we could have an event for it. If the latter does happen, I sincerely hope that it is in the same vein as past events, where you actually had to earn the mythical Pokemon rather than them just being given to you by some goober at the Pokemon Center. Whatever, a man can dream, right?
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and let me know in the comments section below. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and become an Eryizo today.
If you want to check out the previous video I did, be sure to click the annotation on the left. If you want to see more Pokemon Let's Go videos, click the other annotation on the right. And with that being said, I will see you guys next time.